Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the History Vault, our magic connection to the past. I'm Skylar Yore, and I have got the honor to speak with some of the greatest people in history. Today, our guest is none less than the man who supposedly discovered America. Please welcome Mr. Christoph Columbus. Good day, Admiral Columbus. Thank you for joining me. History has recorded you as a brave explorer who changed the course of our world. It's an honor to speak with you.
Thank you, Skylar. It is a pleasure to share my experiences, for I indeed sailed to unveil new horizons for Spain and for all of Christendom.
You achieved something remarkable by crossing the Atlantic in 1492. Could you tell us what drove you to pursue this uncertain path?
For many years, I believed there was a western route to Asia. Driven by faith and a desire to bring prosperity to Spain, I was determined to find that route, despite the risks. The sea was treacherous, but my faith kept me steady.
After weeks of difficult sailing, you and your crew finally reached land. Can you describe that moment?
It was October 12, 1492. We landed on an island in what I later named the Bahamas. The relief and joy of my men were immense. For me, it was a triumph of faith and endurance. I felt as if God Himself had guided us.
Many refer to you as the discoverer of the New World, yet indigenous civilizations existed here long before. How do you view this title?
I understand that others had inhabited these lands for centuries. My title represents the link I created between the old world and these distant lands, forever changing trade, culture, and faith. My intent was never to destroy, but to connect.
You encountered resistance when proposing your journey. Why do you think Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand eventually supported you?
They were visionaries who recognized the potential of my plan despite doubts from their advisors. I convinced them that a direct route to Asia would enrich Spain, and they believed in me. Their support was an act of faith as much as mine.
After returning to Spain, you were celebrated, yet your subsequent voyages were challenging. What happened on those later journeys?
I was often confronted by hostility from local leaders, misunderstandings, and the hardship of managing settlements. Governing was not my strength. I was an explorer, not a politician. Those challenges taught me humility.
There are accounts of your difficulties as a colonial governor. Some even say you were arrested upon your return to Spain. How do you feel about that chapter of your life?
Yes, I was stripped of my titles and brought back in chains, a deeply painful betrayal after all I had done. My intentions were always to build, but there were those who saw only opportunity for their own power. I accept, though, that I made mistakes as a leader.
Many know of your determination, but few know that you once said, "You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." What did you mean by this?
It was my belief that true exploration demands sacrifice, that one must abandon safety to seek the unknown. Only through courage can discoveries be made, and for that, one must leave the familiar behind.
Admiral Columbus, your second voyage in 1493 was notably different from the first. What was the purpose of that expedition, and what challenges did you face?
The second journey was intended not merely for exploration, but for colonization. I set out with 17 ships and over 1,000 settlers to establish a permanent presence in the New World. We faced significant challenges, including disease, clashes with indigenous people, and discord among the settlers themselves. It was a difficult task to govern such an endeavor, and at times, maintaining peace was nearly impossible. My goal, however, remained to build a new Spanish colony for prosperity and faith.
During your third voyage in 1498, you reached the South American mainland. How did this discovery affect your views on the lands you had encountered?
Reaching the mainland of South America and seeing the vast Orinoco River was a profound moment. I began to wonder if this land could be part of a new, unknown continent rather than Asia, as I originally believed. Although I did not fully understand the significance of this discovery at the time, I knew these lands held immense potential for Spain. However, managing both exploration and governance was a strain that wore on me deeply, especially as political troubles grew back in Hispaniola.
Despite your achievements, you faced significant hardship later in life. Can you share more about those last years?
After my final voyage in 1504, I was physically broken and financially strained. I fought for years to regain my titles and secure my family's rights. Though Spain recognized my contributions, I died without the honor I had hoped for. I bore these trials as best as I could.
Finally, Admiral Columbus, how do you hope to be remembered by future generations?
I hope they see me as a man who dared, who ventured beyond the possible. I sought to bring light to the unknown, despite my flaws. If future generations remember anything, let it be that I valued exploration and courage above all.
Thank you, Admiral Columbus, for your time and for sharing your story with us. It's been a privilege.
Thank you, Schuyler. It was a pleasure to recount my journeys. May all who seek new worlds be blessed with the courage and resolve to discover them.
Ladies and gentlemen, for now, the vault closes again, but we will reopen it soon with a new fascinating interview partner from the past. Have a nice time until then.